everybody, good morning. Sorry about yesterday. I got cut off. I got a phone call while I was in the middle of the live. But today we're going to try to go over what I was going over yesterday, which is we're going to tie in all the nutrition lives that I've done with the carbohydrates, protein, and fats. We're going to tie it in all together so you can utilize it in your everyday life. So just stay tuned for that. Make sure you're following so you can see that whenever I do post it. I did a rough edit, but I don't know, I might have to reshoot, but that is going to be my goal for the week, to get that out to y'all. I already have all the information laid out, and I did shoot a rough draft, potentially. We'll see once I start editing if I need to add anything. But I think it's definitely the best diet or best nutrition plan that I put together. It's very concise, it's very easy to personalize, and it's goal oriented depending on what your goals are, and also depending on what your preferences are. Like, what do you prefer to eat? Because you can't just put someone on a diet with foods that they don't like. You know, you're asking for failure, really. So we're trying to set everyone up for success. That's the main goal here. And what I was trying to get out yesterday is that it's really about small changes. Like with if you would grab a hula hoop and start hooping as your daily routine, or even say 2 days a week, 3 days a week, you would be very surprised at the results that you'll get. Hooping is a full body workout. You can get a larger hoop and just do on body hooping if you're trying to tone your core and get some cardio in. Or if you're looking for a full body workout, you can get a medium to smaller size hoop, and you can learn off body tricks. But it really is just about utilizing, doing small steps, whether it's one dietary change a week, or if it's working out once a week. Then over time, instead of like you being on the opposite side of that, okay, say you're not working out at all, you're not paying attention to your diet, well, that's how things catch up to you eventually, you know. So that's why it's so important. Just like not making the change can affect you, making the change can affect you in a positive way. So that's what I always say, like with people that are just jumping on a nutrition bandwagon, it's like, would you rather go to bed overstuffed and uncomfortable, or would you rather go to bed hungry and then wake up with results? You know, it's like you kind of have to pick your battles and see what's important to you. But very small changes are important, and that's a good way to set yourself up for success. Because if you try to like do a fad diet or jump into this big workout program, more than likely it'll be overwhelming and you won't have success. So really making a small change and then improving on that small change every week is the best way to have a lifestyle change. You want to change your life where it's not a task every day what you're eating. You'll know what your body likes, what your body can process easily, and what's in your calorie range once you get familiar with the information that I'm going to be giving you guys this week. If you want, you can go over the lives that I did with protein, carbohydrates, and fat. It just goes over each macronutrient, and it tells you why it's important. There is everything in the body serves a function. So that's why I always say everything in moderation, nothing eliminated unless it is required by your body or your doctor. So yeah, that's going to be the goal, really, is to try to make a small change. So if you're interested, I do hand make and sell hula hoops in custom adult sizes. You can also make them for kids. That is a great summer workout. It's something that you can do outside while you're catching some sun, or you can also do it inside in the air conditioner. So hula hooping is a great workout. It's a full body workout. It's low impact, and then it's also something that you can cater to your own needs. Like if you have a pre-existing injury, hooping is very easy to try to avoid problem areas. Like I had a broken rib, and it's just a nagging injury, so I try not to strain that when I am hula hooping. So it is all customizable. You can do it inside, you can do it outside, you can do it for 5 minutes while you're in between tasks, you can do it once your kids go to sleep, you can do it while your kids are still sleeping in the morning. It's very easy to just like pop in and do it. I actually quit smoking cigarettes, and I replaced that bad habit with the good habit of hula hooping. So just to show you the power of a small change can really change your whole life and your health status. And then when it comes to the diet, like I said, if you're not paying attention to anything, start trying to pay attention to one thing that you think might be causing you strife in your diet. Maybe you're snacking too much. Maybe you're having too big of a portion for supper. Maybe you're eating a calorie-dense lunch. You know, like paying attention to stuff like that is very important, and one small change can change everything. You know, one dietary change can prevent you from gaining weight, or can cause you to lose weight, can cause you to gain weight. You know, it's like really accountability is the main thing with diet, because like for years I did it. I pretended like everything was okay, and then I would cry about being the victim. But it's like, you're not the victim, you are in control, and that's where we're trying to get with my lives and with the education, is that we are in control. No one's going to do it for us. We have to do it ourselves. So if you can figure out something to do fitness wise, even if it's like if you're making copies at work and you decide to do a set of an exercise, whatever your problem area is, do a set of squats while you're waiting for the copies. Or, you know, it's really about being smart about it. You don't have to factor out an hour of your life to work out. I just don't think that's feasible for most people. And hooping helps you override that time crunch, because it's just always there. You have your hula hoop in your house, and you can just grab it and do it whenever it's convenient for you. You can do it at different times in the day. You'll find if you're like me and a lot of the people in the hoop community, you'll want to make time to do it, which is like unbelievable. Who wants to work out? Well, the hoopers do. So we're obviously onto something. A lot of people stick with it, and it is, like I said, caterable to your needs. So if it's something you're interested in, always feel free to contact me, DM me, message me about sizing or anything like that. I'm always happy to help. That is the fulfilling part of my job at I Dream of Hoops, is sharing the hoop love with other people. I want everyone to get the perfect hula hoop and the perfect size, and to find their perfect center in their hoop. So that's kind of what we wanted to go over. I will be dropping some more nutrition content this week, hopefully, as long as everything works out. And it'll help you really tie everything all together and understand the bigger picture, because that's where you can gain your control, is by understanding knowledge is power. This week, I don't know if anyone's been watching Ryan Trahan or Trahan, his 50 coolest Airbnbs in the United States. He's going to all 50 states and finding the coolest Airbnb. Well, he found one, the one in first place right now we've actually went to. It's in Oklahoma. It's called Treetopia. and it's a tree house in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. And when I tell you this place is a fairy tale, like literally it's a fairy tale. It's the coolest. So go check it out. I have a video on my page as well that has a better, I find, tour than what Ryan did, but they are just going one night, so he probably didn't even get to see all of the amenities in this little tree house. That's how thoughtful and just really quirky and cool this thing is decorated. So if you're interested in that, seeing the #1 Airbnb in more detail, I do have it on my page. It's called Finding the Magic of Treetopia, I believe. So go check it out. It is more affordable in the off season, so that'll be like in fall, probably some points of the winter. It's a 3-story tree house. It's set up like in a valley, so you take a drawbridge to the tree house. So the tree house is already elevated because it's in the valley. Once you get into the tree house, it's 3 stories. The first story is going to have, you know, the common areas. It has a bedroom. It also has an outdoor movie theater and a man-made waterfall. So you can turn the waterfall on and off with a switch, which is pretty cool. Then the second story had another bedroom, a bunk room, a Pac-Man game, and then a massage chair. So the cool thing about the second story is that you could, instead of waiting and watching the person playing Pac-Man and just waiting for your turn, you can go sit, get a massage in like this high-end massage chair. It's not just like this little bougie massage chair. It's very nice. So we weren't fighting over the game, which was a pleasant surprise, because that's usually what we do. We're very competitive. So then the third story, you go all the way up to the top of the tree house, and there's like a cargo net that you can lay in, and you can see all the way down to the very bottom of the tree house. Not just the tree house, underneath the tree house. There is a glass, I say glass, but it's probably a plastic plate. It's the cargo net, an opening on the second floor, and then the bottom floor has the clear floor, so you can see all the way down to the very bottom of the valley of the treehouse. Definitely, if you're in the area of Oklahoma or you plan to visit, Broken Bow is up and coming. A lot of people don't know about it yet. It is a new tourist attraction, so that's pretty cool. You can get a lot of things pretty affordable because it is up and coming. When I tell you this place has like no hotels, the reason why it is up and coming is because of Airbnb. So you can rent other people's properties, and it is like a little mountain town is the best way I can describe it. It's a lot closer to some people than Tennessee, and it kind of gives off the same vibes, and it's much more affordable. Instead of seeing like the classic yellow log cabin, you'll see black and white, but like the same design as a log cabin, which like gives it just like a different edge, something different and visual, you know, to look at. So I do highly recommend Broken Bow for any point of your vacation time, whether it's summer, winter, spring, fall. It's a beautiful area. It's only going to get more expensive, so keep that in mind, and just go check it out and visit it. They have a lot of hiking trails, and as of right now, I believe, I didn't watch Ryan's video last night, but I believe it is still the #1 Airbnb, and well deserved. I do know the owners. Well, you know, we just met them whenever we were there. They're very, very friendly people, very thoughtful people, but the intention that they decorated this place with is unbelievable, like really unbelievable. you walk down the drawbridge to the treehouse. So, you know, if that doesn't say enough, I don't know what does. But you walk down the drawbridge, and they literally have like some of the trees with faces on them. Like they put like little eyes and mouths and stuff, and it's just so whimsical. Like that's not a very expensive detail, but the thought behind it, it was like, oh my god, like who would think of this? Everywhere you turn, that is how Treetopia is decorated. It's very whimsical, very thoughtful. Every little detail in that place was like very intentional. They also, to get down from the drawbridge area and the bottom story of the treehouse, there, like I said, it's raised up in a valley. There is a slide. That is the only way that you can get down to the bottom of the treehouse, is a slide. They have a little basket that you can put like food or your drinks in. It's a little pulley system that you can drop down whatever, or pick up whatever you're bringing down there. But the only way down is the slide, which is really fun. It was way faster than we thought. But once you get to the bottom of the treehouse, by the slide, there's like some swings down there. There's an oversized pendant that you can lay down in. There's a fire pit. And the only con I will say is that once you're down there, there's a bunch of stairs to get back up. But that's kind of the beauty of it. You know, it's like a little adventure in an Airbnb. So I highly recommend going check out my video on Treetopia, and then also Ryan, so you can get two perspectives. They put it as the #1 Airbnb, or the coolest Airbnb, and I totally agree. It's the coolest Airbnb that I've ever been to, and I hate to say it, Ryan, but I'm a couple steps ahead of you, buddy. But yeah, so I don't know if anyone has summer vacation plans, but let me know. We're kind of in the middle of planning a vacation. We're all over the place. We have no idea where we're going to go. So if you do have any recommendations, definitely let us know. And we will consider it. I don't know. We're pretty well traveled, but I do like to go to unique and new places. I just like new adventures. I'm not a creature of habit when it comes to traveling. I like to explore, as most people do. So, like I said, if you have any ideas on places to go, or any events that are going on, definitely let me know so I can check them out. But back to our goals for the week. Like last night, it's been a while since I've hula hooped, so last night I picked up my hoop. I actually picked up one of these hoops. These are some packaged hoops, and then I have a couple that I need to be packaged as well. But I picked up one of those hoops, and I just got a little flow session in. You know, something is better than nothing. When it comes to our intake, it really is input versus output. If you're putting more into your body than you're burning, then you're going to gain weight. If you're putting less into your body than you're burning, you're going to lose weight. If you're eating the same amount that you're burning, then you're going to stay the same. It's not like, say you're just eating 100 calories over every day, then eventually that 100 is going to carry over to the next day. And then if you do it again, it's going to carry over to the next day. That'll be 200. Then if you do it again, it'll carry over to the next day, and that'll be 300. Well, if you're eating, say, just 100 over your calories, you might not gain weight immediately, but once that 100 adds up to 3,500 calories over what your recommended intake is, that is when you'll gain a pound. 3,500 calories is equal to 1 pound of fat. So that's just, you know, to kind of put it into perspective. A lot of people don't understand, like, oh, I ate terrible last night and I woke up this morning and I weighed the same. It's not really how it works all the time. Sometimes it'll eventually catch up to you, or crawl up like we were just talking about. So that's why I say accountability is so important. But we want to, like I said, identify anything in our diet that is not serving us, and say you're eating a snack that's too calorie dense. Well, a solution would be to find something else that you enjoy that is not as calorie dense. It's really that simple. People tend to overcomplicate diet, and they want just a fast, quick solution. Unless you're going to a medication, otherwise you're going to have to do the hard work yourself. And you know, I'm not opposed to Ozempic or any of the medicines that are similar for people that have had a lifelong struggle with their weight, but I don't think it should be given to anyone who's not severely overweight, because the only problem that I do have with Ozempic is that it's not encouraging healthy eating. It's encouraging an easy way out. It should be prescribed with a diet plan so you can lose the weight quickly and have good eating habits in place for when you do want to get off the medicine or decide to get off the medicine. I'm not sure how doctors prescribe it. If anyone knows, let me know. I don't know if it's like a lifelong medication, or once you do get down to the weight that you would like, if you stop, taking the medicine. I'm not really sure, but it's kind of like putting a band-aid on the problem, because if you're still eating all that crap food and processed food, then you're still eating all those chemicals. You might not necessarily feel good. Honestly, with Ozempic, a lot of people look malnourished to me, so they're not really getting all the vitamins and minerals they need because their intake is low. Everything has pros and cons. That's why understanding is really the best way for you to gain control, is understanding how the body works, why it does what it does, the energy that it prefers. That's why I say if you are on Ozempic, definitely get on a multivitamin, so your body will still have its vitamins and minerals, because if you do reduce your intake significantly, your diet will be lacking in macronutrients or micronutrients. And then once we get over this last video, which will be very informative, I think you guys will enjoy it, and it might really tie everything together for you. Once we do that, then we're going to get into each vitamin and mineral, which is a micronutrient. It's not a macro. Macro means big, micro means small. So these are small nutrients. Vitamin A, D, E, and K are all fat soluble, and then they have water soluble vitamins. So we're going to go over all the different vitamins and minerals, and then we're going to tell you why they're important in your body. Like, I remember in school learning about each different one, and when I tell you each one had a list of over 100 functions, that's why it's so important to have a well-balanced diet, is because of that reason. You want to be getting all of your vitamins and minerals because they serve roles in your metabolism. They serve roles in your digestion. Everything has a purpose in the body. It's amazing if you would really get into the nitty-gritty like I did in school to know how resilient the body is. And yeah, it's just very interesting to see how the body compensates for when you're lacking something, and vice versa. You want to keep it ideal and not make the body have to work for something that it's lacking, but it will if that's the case. Like, for instance, we talked about carbohydrates are the #1 preferred fuel of the body. It's the easiest thing for the body to break down. It doesn't take as much energy to break down a carbohydrate as it does fat or protein. So it is the #1 preferred fuel, But say if you go on a low carb diet and you're not eating barely any carbohydrates, your body will break down that fat. It will break down the protein if it has to. It'll just be a little bit more complicated, but it will break it down for energy. So it's really amazing to know all of the things going on in the body at once, and as soon as something like messes up, your body's there to try to fix it like immediately, which is very impressive really, in my opinion. But so yeah, that's going to be my goal for the week, is to get that information out to you guys. So hopefully you can have a healthy relationship with your eating habits and hold yourself accountable. You don't want to play mind games with yourself. Trust me, I did it for years and years. And talk about depressing, you know, if you put that mentality on it. You're not a victim to the food. The food is there to nourish you, not to overstuff you. On a scale of 1 to 10, you should eat to a 7. But it really is about gaining the power of your lifestyle. And depending on your needs, you can customize it to what you want. On my next video, I break down like the percent of protein, carbohydrates, and fat in different elements. Like if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to gain weight or gain muscle. So I think that'll be very informative for everyone, so you can kind of just know about where you should be on the macronutrients, and you'll definitely know how many calories you should be eating, which is the number one power. You know, it's like, I am a very petite person. I don't have a big calorie range. I don't have a big body, you know. It's like I have a smaller body than most people, so I have to eat less. So everyone has a different calorie range, and that's what's so, like, you need to know that. Like, that's 100%. I need to know how many calories my body is burning so I can have a number to go off of. If you go off of the standard, if you're smaller than most people or you're bigger than most people, it's not gonna be uniform to your needs. So you need to, you can ask AI to calculate your total energy expenditure, your TEE. That is the abbreviation. It'll ask you more questions. It'll ask you about your age, your height, your sex, your weight, your physical activity. All that affects how much you can eat as well. So say you like to eat. Like my sister says, I like to eat, I like to eat, I like to eat. Well, it's like, okay, you can eat, but you're gonna have to compensate with working out if that's the case. It's either one or the other. You either reduce your intake or you burn more. It's really that simple. It's a balancing act. Input, output, input, output, input, output. So it's about correcting the behavior. No one's going to be perfect. We're all going to fall off, but you want to correct the behavior fairly quickly, as quick as possible. That will prevent you from falling off. They say they treat it like addiction. Once your diet, say you had a bad weekend, Monday you got to start off fresh, and don't be like, oh, I ate bad this weekend, I'm just going to eat bad today. That's how things catch up to you in the long run. So always be accountable. Pay attention to what you're putting into your body. Try to avoid chemicals. We're going to try to put it all together for you this week and make it understandable. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.